Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Next up, we have Maksym from Chronicle talking about fulfilling a promise of blockchain in the world of business. This is a pre-recorded talk because we're a bit outside of his time zone, so there will be no live Q&A for this discussion. However, later this evening, when he wakes up, he'll answer your questions on Discord should you have any questions about his talk. So I'll start playing the video from here.
Hi, my name is Maksym, and I'm working on applied cryptography at Chronicled. And today I'll be talking about how we are using Substrate blockchain in order to solve problems in the world of business. So at Chronicled, we are building business networks to run intercompany processes. So in 2017, we launched Media Ledger Network for the pharmaceutical industry. And the problem in this industry is that different participants are running different technological solutions on their side. Moreover, they're using different protocols to connect to each other. So which naturally leads to problems. For example, if participants want to arrive to a conclusion, for example, counting apples, because all of those systems are isolated, they will sometimes we will gonna come up with different conclusions, which creates disputes. So this is due to the fact that there is no single source of truth. The network is non-uniform. They're using disparate systems. There is no singular meaning for the same piece of data, which leaves room for interpretation. Even for a single use case, it creates big problems. On average, 4% of all operations are being disputed, which requires lots of manual effort and leads to substantial revenue loss. So it is possible to solve this problem with centralized solution, something like a clearinghouse, which we're gonna arrive at decisions, and every participant must honor it. But it creates third-party risks and also not good for privacy at all. Our solution replaces central party with a decentralized confidential clearinghouse based on the blockchain and privacy technologies, and also provides a homogeneous network for secure peer-to-peer communication, which marks the first universal network in the industry. This allows enforcement of intercompany business rules. Thanks to the single source of truth, deterministic business rules, which resolves disputes before they even start and automates cross-company processes, ensures compliance with regulation, which is very important, and preserves privacy, and benefits all parties involved, from manufacturer to the consumer. Our working group members include these manufacturers and also participants from other categories. So what are the needs of decentralized confidential clearinghouse? It requires advanced business logic, also privacy, which leads to advanced cryptography and zero-knowledge proofs. It also needs scalability and performance, because we will have at least 1 billion operations a year. Moreover, there is a motto that patients don't wait. Upgradability, to maintain existing functionality as well as to support new business cases. Also security and regulatory compliance, which is a big focus, with things like traffic monitoring, supporting hardware security modules for different accounts, and key rotation and network security and others. We've tried to develop solution on Ethereum, however, it turns out that the limited freedom it provides is not sufficient for the requirements. From our experience, the development of multi-contract solution is non-trivial. Customization beyond smart contracts is costly. For example, if you want to change protocol, add some node interfaces, or change node functionality. And it requires the source code forking, which is troublesome. Maintenance is quite expensive, and operations are involved, for example, in node upgrade. And it's not built for high throughput applications. So extended Ethereum node really felt like this. And also there is a complexity of blockchain upgrades, which all of you probably know about already. It requires non-trivial upgrade orchestration. So it really felt like using wrong tool for the right job. And it really fulfills that promise. It provides agility, so you can work on innovation instead of on infrastructure. For example, in Ethereum, the state transition is mainly defined by the client and less so by smart contracts. But in Substrate, the state transition function is mostly defined by you, with a small influence of the client. So Substrate provides much higher degrees of freedom, which allows you to implement more complex use cases. It also provides a better code because tests are an integral part of the state transition function compared to smart contracts. It also allows to use type aliases, and there is no limit on number of variables. Also, we found out that Rust code for Substrate is much shorter than in Solidity. Updates are much easier because they are atomic compared to sequential for smart contracts, especially when those are dependent on other contracts. There is no need to support separate life cycles of contracts for the same reason, and there is no risk of interface mismatch. From security perspective, it's also better because there is no need to expose cross-module functions publicly. It's better, more mature language, so it means less surprises. And also it has integrated tests, and it's easier to apply fixes when the bugs are found. Developer operations are also much simpler because there is no need to orchestrate contract deployments. It reduces need to update blockchain client due to runtime upgrades. There's no risk of fork due to different versions. And data migrations are self-executable. On the flip side, with the freedom comes responsibility, and there is less mistake preventions in Substrate compared to smart contracts, and bugs can have more consequences. The other thing not many people are talking about is that Substrate is not an end product, but rather a toolbox or a framework that you are using to build your own product. So you use Substrate to derive your runtime and also the client, which are intricately connected to each other. And this forms the basis of your blockchain node, and then you integrate with the backend, which allows you to build your own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, and you name it. So what are we building on Substrate? The basic component of the system is member registry, where all of the manufacturer, distributors, and other trading partners are listed. The data includes identity, participant details, and networking info. The networking includes address, where participants can reach each other, and cryptographic identity so that they can verify that they are talking to the right party, which really is being your own authority. So it replaces DNS and SSL. Another important component is the source of truth for public data. This includes medicine details, customer eligibility lists. So for example, recently we integrated this HIBIC database, which allows operations to determine eligibility of customers in real time, and other data. So it is used as an input to on-chain operations, as well as a real-time propagation to the integrated systems. Also, we really like concept of extrinsics. We implemented non-state transactions for highest throughput. And also we're implementing confidential transactions to hide origin of transaction and its payload. Moreover, we extended the client with computation-intensive functionality and exposed it to the runtime, which is especially important when runtime is running in WebAssembly. Also, we implemented integration layer into the client, which utilizes reliable MQP protocol in order to connect to the backend. We are also planning to use interoperability functionality in order to connect several specialized blockchain networks. We already deployed several test networks and currently in the process of deploying production network. I want to congratulate Parity and everyone involved with this huge milestone of 2.0 release. And we've already incorporated this for the upcoming network. The things I'm looking forward to is parallel execution in the runtime, and also new useful components for the runtime and the client. Are there any questions? No, I'm just kidding. It is likely I'm in deep slumber half a globe away. So please post your questions in the Discord channel. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Maksym, for that great presentation. Next up, we have Drew from Commonwealth Labs. So we'll move into that next session. As mentioned in Maksym's presentation, you can join him on Discord and he'll answer some of your questions should you have anything you want to get more details on. So on to our next session.